Hello and welcome. My name is Lorrayne Ham, and this is Living Your Best Life. Okay, we're discussing you, me, us, as ascended masters here in the game, the Matrix. So, why would we, as divine ascended masters, fractals of Source, choose to forget, come through the veil of forgetfulness, to forget that we are divine? There's many reasons why we would choose to do that. Okay, here we are, divine ascended masters, creators of the universe, fractals of the divine. And we're hanging out, we as us, the one, the me, hanging out, and we're going, okay, now what? We've created a beautiful universe. We have all these things to do. But dang, now what? If you don't know what you don't know as a human in the Matrix, you can't expand upon that. You can't go beyond that. You can't go further. You can't create more because you have no contrast by which to expand. So here we are as ascended masters, divine source, hanging out, going, okay, now what? Now what? So we create a game by which we come in and we forget who we are. Now, the process is pretty interesting. So we get a spark of divine life into a physical body. We hang out for a while, listening, hearing, experiencing, growing, all of that. It's warm, it's comfortable, we're hopefully happy. And then one day, all of a sudden, extreme pain happens and then excruciating light. Bang! Here we are, birthed into reality. Wow. Apparent reality. And we go, oh man, we still remember that we're a spark of the divine. We still have awareness. The veil of forgetfulness is not complete. Okay, so here we are. We're birthed into this place through pain and And then we've got these beings around us that we are dependent on 100% for our survival. Now, these are beings that have also gone through the veil of forgetfulness. They don't know who they are. We, still connected to the divine, have a little awareness that we are one, but we're stuck in these bodies that we can't do anything with. Some of us, through time, have a complete covering up of our divine spark. Some remember. For those who remember, this game is excruciating and painful and confusing. Well, you know, because you're probably one of those that remembered, had a spark. Some of us remember later. It's a little easier on those that remember later, but how do we forget? How does an infinite being forget who it is? Well, we have these beings around us who tell us that everything we think we know isn't real. And in order to survive, because we are 100% dependent on them, we start taking on their belief systems. And our light gets covered up and covered up and covered up until there's no more light. All the beliefs get covered up, and so the truth can't be seen. So if you are one of those rare few that always remembered that you were a divine spark, you would be experimenting with all the concepts of this reality. You would say, I can walk on water, and you would go out and attempt to walk on water. But here's the thing. Why can't you do it? If you remember that you're a divine spark, that you are the one, the whole, the everything, why can't you do it? Because the density of this world, you still have those beliefs. They may not be conscious and in your everyday awareness, but they're down there saying, you can't do this. This is impossible in this space. So you keep attempting to do these divine things, but those pesky belief systems are hiding in the shadows. So you go to walk on water and you sink. And then you're confused because you say, I'm a divine being. I am an ascended master. Why can't I do this? So there's a book that I read once a year, and I've read once a year since my late teens, since it came out. Illusions by Richard Bach. It explains this phenomena so clearly and so brilliantly that I'll just synopsize here, but I encourage you to go read the book. It is Adventures, Illusions, subtitle Adventures of a Reluctant Messiah. So Richard is learning to be a Messiah from the Messiah's handbook. And he is told by his mentor that it's a belief system. It's his belief system that water is liquid, that it's fluid, that it's not solid and you can't stand on it. And in contrast, earth, soil, is solid and you can't swim in it. So he begins to experiment with these beliefs that have been imposed upon him, and he plays around with this concept. I encourage you to read the book. I don't want to spoil it for you. It's very fun. It's an easy read, and so many truths hang out in that book. So you, as a brilliant spark of the divine, ascended master, brilliant being, are struggling against these imposed beliefs by this game, this matrix. Now, you would do this as an ascended being coming into a game so that you couldn't trick the game. You would make yourself forget everything of who you are so that you could play the game. Now, the whole idea of the game is to expand your awareness, your knowing, your sense of understanding. Yes, you are an intelligent, radiant, expanded, all-knowing being, but even an all-knowing being within the vacuum of itself needs contrast to expand itself, even an ascended master. So this place is extreme contrast. I don't know if other places in the universe, other planets, other games are as extreme as this one, but let's face it, this one has some serious, interesting extremes, and we are the creators of this game. We, out of the awareness and consciousness of our mind, out of our choosing things over other things, out of expanded consciousness, of awareness, of contrast, keep creating more of, honestly, this crap that we've been experiencing. However, there is evidence in this world of the beauty and divinity of who we are. And many of us have awakened to this truth. So many of us have awakened to this truth that the weird, strange, unimaginable is coming to the surface and being seen. It is having the light shone upon it so that we can have extreme contrast and say, no! So, I hope this helps explain a little bit to you about why we would choose this craziness and why some of us remember and some don't. It's all choice. We, as divine sparks of the divine, as the divine itself, have chosen everything that's going on for the pure delight, enjoyment, and expansion of it all. All right, till next time, my name is Lorraine.